If Musk and Trump are successful, tens of thousands more will die.
There is no doubt that Medicaid cuts will cost lives, and those people will die suffering.
They want to cut Medicaid by $800 billion.
People are going to start self-medicating, and we know what's happening on these streets. People are going to drop.
Many people think that Medicaid is just for poor children. That would be justification enough.
Because you got justice in your soul, you got Vaseline on your cheeks, and you are ready to fight.
Later replace it giving away our money. They want to rip health care away from millions of our families.
Democrats shrieking at a health care rally, they're not going back. The way forward seems to be a hissy fit a day. The tantrum today was all about the big bad Republicans supposedly taking away Medicaid.
And our next guest is helping to expose how states like California are getting rich off the program. Joining us now, Economic Policy Innovation Center President and CEO, Paul Winfree. You're a twofer today, Paul. So let's get right to it. California gets the second most to New York State, but California is an expert at using Medicaid for something else. What is it?
That's exactly right. So one of the things that California is doing, New York's doing it too, by the way, is that they are using a loophole within the Medicaid program to tax Medicaid managed care plans and then bill the federal government for a portion of that tax. And then they use the benefits or the proceeds that they get to pay for coverage for illegal immigrants and then also long-term care for wealthy people. And so we're seeing both California and New York really expose this loophole and bring a lot of money back to the state and spend it in ways that, you know, should be illegal. If this was a private company, these folks would go to jail, but it's not. It's the government.
Paul, it is illegal for illegal immigrants in this country, illegal aliens, to receive federal Medicaid dollars. That is against the law. But as you point out, California, 1 year, a little more than a year ago, expanded all of its state Medi-Cal program and allows every illegal migrant in that state to be on the state program. But what they've done is an end around to siphon federal Medicaid dollars into the state, and it should be illegal. What can the federal government and the Trump administration do about that and stop New York, again, also from rich people being on Medicaid so they're in nursing homes, so their relatives get to keep all of their riches?
That's a great question. There are two things that they can do. The first thing that they can do is through the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Studies, CMS, that Dr. Oz has been nominated for. They can start to review these state plans and really push back on states so that we don't see any more abuse. But the real fix has got to come from Congress. So Congress has got to close this loophole that's been in place for the last 40 years that's being abused by states. Now, here's the good news. If they close this loophole, the Congressional Budget Office says that it'll save at least $630 billion over the next 10 years. And you're not going to see much of a coverage effect because this money isn't going to help the folks who truly need this program, the vulnerable, the pregnant women, the children, the disabled. And so any coverage effect that we see is just going to affect the illegal population, which I don't want to speak for all Americans, but seems to me to be a major issue with what California is doing here.
I knew they would do it. Paul Winfree, thank you so much. Please come back. Please come back, Paul.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.